Hello, my friends. Chong, let me put my glasses back up. Alright, we're here. Figure we just go for a live stream on our morning walk. I did get my stuff situated. I did have a lot of stuff to get situated with my work. Next month I'll be on my 312s. I'm on an easier assignment. I'm healing a lot better now. So I did get things in my life situated. And I'm excited about it. And I did open up a Twitter account. And I did, and I even on Twitter, I didn't know you can make your own groups. So I made a Chong the Dog group. So if you guys are on Twitter at all, just look for Chong the Dog. And we could always talk on Twitter too. I figured it out, got everything together, and I'm happy for myself. I don't know when we're going to be leaving this pole. So we went all the way up the street. I got all his business done first. And I've been sick, so we haven't been on a lot of long walks. So he's starting to get into the swing of things with walking again, too. As I try to get my exercise in. But let's talk about nosy people. As I was doing all my stuff, getting all my schedule reset and everything, I had all these nosy people wanting to know my business. Why isn't when you're trying to get your life together, people want to know all about your business? This is what I don't understand. They all came up to me wanting me to take my old assignment back that had a lot of heavier lifts and just a lot of chaos and a lot of screaming and stuff that goes on in that assignment to go back that one. And no one was fooling me. Oh, hello. We're on our morning walk. I'm feeling much better. I had to get my life together. Sometimes you got to get your life together and everything else. I'm making a little more money now, which is good. And I'll have 4 days off, and I won't have the hardest assignments ever. So I'll be able to stream more and keep my suitable income all at the same time. So I'm excited about this because I wasn't ready to leave my job. I've been there over a decade. So life is... Oh, well, thank you. But I am going to be on later to do tarot cards. I just wasn't in the right mindset for tarot cards. The last couple of days I was been so tired and zoned out from just family members screaming and yelling and causing a lot of stress in my life for no reason, because I'm a good person. I even buy stuff for the residents. Out of my money comes money for the residents always. I buy them stuff. I really do. And I don't understand. Maybe it's some kind of thing where people feel just like they feel guilty. I mean, if your loved one's in a nursing home, it's not no one's fault. But sometimes you gotta work with the staff a little. And you can't blame the staff for everything. These guys just blame us for everything. Yeah, that's all you can do is support in life. It really is. I just don't understand when you're trying to help the sick how sometimes the family act like you're the bad guy. But I got out of that whole entire thing. I mean, the lady was literally sitting there saying, I'm calling my lawyer, I'm calling my lawyer. I don't know what she expects us to do. We can't fix and play God. We really can't. That's why some people take their family members home. And it's okay to take your family members home. It really is. But I just got to the point where my anxiety was hitting me so hard and stuff, and I was working so much, it was literally affecting my health. So, but I'll be able to live stream more. This is probably one of the reasons why I come on here just to have something different going on in my life. I feel live streaming, even if it's, just doing a tarot reading with my friends or something, is something different than I'm doing all day long. Because in this part of the game, I've been doing medical for so long, it's what I'm the most qualified for. It really is. And sometimes we got to take our breaks. Oh, I do need my U time. I'm going to have 4 days off, 2 12s and 1 8. An easy assignment. I let my DON know that I was getting worked too much, and I didn't want to have to go on psych meds and stuff, so she went ahead and fixed everything for me. Because she calls me her cute little redhead because I had red hair then. So, and then she asked me why my hair wasn't red, and then I just ended up, because my natural hair color, I got red and blonde highlights in it with the brown. But sometimes you got to have a heart-to-heart, people. But everyone at work now, they don't seem to, I don't know, they seem to be mad because she's helping me, and I guess they want an easy time too. But sometimes we all can't have it easy. I remember when I first started, I was in my early 20s. We had to work Alzheimer's. You had to work, back in the day, you had to work an Alzheimer's unit for like sometimes years. And you had to upgrade yourself. This is how it used to be back in the day. Now people get into medical, they don't care about, a lot of times some people don't care about the residents at all. And it's sad because we're supposed to be there for the residents. But they don't a lot of times because there's not a lot of jobs around. So they flock to these jobs because it's the one job that keeps going, but they don't want to give it their all. And the thing is, they're taking care of someone's grandma or grandpa. It's someone's family member. You just can't do that. And they do. They get snotty with them. Sometimes they're mean with them. So Connie, my boss, she has me going to all these different assignments now where people feel like people were mean to them. And I guess I renew faith. So, because I do still care about them, but sometimes I need a break. And I do want to work, because I do like working. Working is one of my favorite things to do. I feel like this is just a different kind of work. So, but tomorrow, my friend Maria, she's she like that's the one I was telling you guys that knows the light language. Chong, I gotta put my glasses up. But anyway, she knows the light language. And she's been studying a lot about like all the, you know, different things. And I'm gonna sponsor her, and I'm gonna start something called the Chong Squad. I think it's a really good catchy name. Well, yeah, I think it is. It's probably why I migrated towards medical. I've been in medical before it was the most popular job in the world, honestly. No, it's Chong. I'm going to make Chong Squad. And my friend Maria, since she knows this light language and angel numbers, tomorrow she's coming after work. I'm going to have her live stream. And I'm going to be on there with her because she's kind of nervous. She's used to Facebook streaming. And Facebook streaming's pretty face forward, pretty forward. You pretty much do most of the talking, and everyone listens. And if they don't like what you say, they either put negative or good comments, and it's over. And if you get too many negative comments, it gets taken down. So she's not used to interactive live streaming like this. So I'm going to be on there just to support her. And she does have a Facebook page, but I'm not sure how popular Facebook is these days. I'm just there because I'm stubborn. I'm very, very stubborn. I started out on Facebook and I have my check mark and I just don't care. I earned it. It took me over a year and a half to get my check mark. And it took me over a year and a half to get 6,000 followers. And I'm not giving any of that up. Even if I make limited money, I'm still not giving that up. It's still groups I put together that people care about animals and people and elderly. And it's things I feel strongly about. And I'm not going to stop feeling strongly about these things. I'm really not. Because I feel that we're all here on a mission. And that's it. Oh, okay. Yeah, most of my ones are Chong the dog. On Twitter, I figure Donald Trump's over there and everyone else. So I just have an extension of my Chong groups over there on Twitter. This way, I'll go over there. And then you'll see it says Chong the dog. And there's an advertisement for over here. I just opened it up yesterday. But if you guys, want to communicate or something, I'll be over there and I'll get it. Because Twitter lets you know. So. Alright, Chong, come on. This is what he does. This is why it takes us so long. We're all the way out today. Trying to go on a little bit of a longer walk. And I'm feeling better. But I do feel strongly about animals. I'm literally hoping one day I get enough people, enough money on social media where I can actually help animals. And maybe people too. It would be nice. I would like to help people in ways that are different. Like maybe if somebody's mom is in home health care or whatever, and they might have to go to nursing home and they need a couple $1,000s. I would like to be the person that goes and maybe helps out the mom and gives them some money so they can continue it, so they don't they can recover and not have to be in a nursing home. Because it's a very depressing place. Even if you have the best workers, I'm not going to lie, it really is. And nursing homes can break you, especially if you're a patient. And little things are important, like bringing your loved ones pop or snacks or soap, and just little things like that. And deodorant. Oh my God, deodorant. Our deodorant is not good deodorant. I mean, it's deodorant, but just bring them a little deodorant. Go to dollar store and spend $1 or $2. Get them something that'll make them feel like they're at home. Because they're trying to get home a lot of times. But they give up. And when you get to be 80 and 90 and you're stuck in one of those places and your family kind of forgot about you, you're going to give up. And that's it. I've seen it. I've seen people die because they had nothing to live for. And when hospice gets there and everything, the families, all of a sudden they show up. Where was the families when everybody was before this happened? Where they could have kept them going. But this is the reality of our world. And I guess it's one reason I don't want to leave my job. I'm afraid that if I leave my job too soon, I don't know if I'm going to make enough difference, and then how many more people are going to die early from loneliness. And it doesn't always... Chong, come on. Let me have use of my hand. Sometimes it doesn't always have to be due to what we do. If they don't see their family members for long periods of time, and then all of a sudden when they're on hospice and dying, they see them. I mean, I don't see where the good is there, because you kind of, it's too late. The human body can only hold on for so long. And yeah, your husband or your wife might have passed, but the older people like to see their grandkids. They like to see their sons. They like to see their daughters. And I get it. They work. Sometimes they had strokes. But visit them. If you're at the store and you have a couple extra bucks, buy them a couple little extra things. I go to dollar store for my residents all the time. All the time. This is a lot of times us aides become, I guess, their family. Because they forget and they say, oh, they're taking care of it. It's like dumping your kid off in daycare and never visiting your child. Sometimes this is what some family members do to their loved ones. Oh, grandma's close to 100. Let's not visit her. She's crazy. No one knows that. She doesn't know. We're paying all this money for grandma to be in the nursing home. Grandma doesn't care how much you're paying how much you're paying for her rent at the nursing home. She doesn't. She wants to know that you care. On Sundays, you're going to come bring her some food and make sure she has soap, and the soap they like. I mean, it's humanity. I see so many things that are not humanity these days. It really makes me sick. And that's a lot of times that's why I'm live streaming, because I've been doing what I've been doing for 28 years. And in 28 years, the story has never changed. It literally has not. Every time it's someone's family member, and then the family members that act the worst are the ones that do the least. And they want us to all of a sudden, because grandma gave up, to make them live. We're not the reaper. we're not God. We can't tell you when they're going to die. We're not going to tell you how long they live. Now, I wish I could. It'd probably make everybody's life a little easier. But truth be told, I can't. I can change them. I can make sure they get their wounds changed. I can try to give them kindness every day and hope for the best. But the fact of the matter is, there's a higher power out there that decides when we live and die. These are basic elemental truths. And I think people, when especially they get set in their 40s and 50s, they forget. They say, oh, well, I got to do this, I got to do that. This is too important. So, come on. So this is what they do. And they go to their families and they literally say, oh, you did. And then that my favorite. I was getting a resident ready and she said she was getting x-rays. I said, her daughter's coming in, cool. And she begged me. She goes, I'm getting x-rays. I just want to get 2 hospital gowns on. Had her Hoyer pad, everything under her. Daughter comes in. She's mad. Yells at her mom, screaming, saying she's calling the lawyer. And she demands why I didn't have her in the chair at 7 o'clock with clothes on. I go, your mom didn't want clothes on. She knew she was getting x-rays. I don't care what my mom says. This is sometimes the things we go through also. And then they tell you don't know how to do your job. They always do that too. Do you know how to do this? Do you know how to do that? Obviously, if the state we live in certified us, we took a state test, we know what we're doing. We know how to operate it. And if your mom feels more comfortable, your loved ones in hospital gowns and getting an x-ray, then so be it. The whole end result is to get them home. And I think people don't realize this. And if they give up, all right, Chong, you're in a front yard. Thank God they're not home. I know you want to sniff it. But on Facebook, since you're following me on Facebook, I'm actually under my check mark, and it's Michelle Hangs. It's a capital M and ICHELLE, and then Hangs, capital HAYNES. And you'll see I have my glasses on, and you'll see my check mark picture. I can't change it. When you get these check marks and you change your picture, they get really funny and they will not let you change them no matter what, because they feel you could be falsifying your identity. So you'll see the Chong group also, but then you'll see my picture. And I have my actual real name on there. So, but on Twitter, I just put Chong the dog because I already have a check mark. I'm not trying to have a check mark everywhere. And I don't think they have that kind of stuff over here. They have a problem on Facebook with not knowing if they're real or they're a scammer or things of that nature. So that's why the check marks are so important on Facebook. I think there's a Keanu Reeves is on there. And obviously he's a huge actor. He got a check mark too. But I was lucky to get mine. Lucky. If I wasn't doing so much awareness for people and animals, I would not have got a check mark at all. Not in the least. They would have not given me one, period. They do it for inspirational people and actors and singers and stuff like that, but they generally don't do it for people like me unless they actually have a cause and they're doing stuff. And I'm all for peace because I just like peaceful actions, I guess. I've always been a fan of peace, not war. Oh my God! Now we got to cross the street, Chong. There's two dogs coming that way. I'm not trying to have you there being bothered. I just gave him water. I think he's just hot because it's 80. All right, Chong. All this stuff, and you go so slow. This is why we're out here so long. And he wonders, but yeah, like when I. All right, Chong. This is what I talk about. We're stuck out here for hours because you're sniffing and you're hot. It's going to take us like a half hour to get home as it is. But I get that's kind of how things work over there, and I started out as a more inspirational kind of thing, and I am because I feel that someone needs to stand up for people, especially sick people and animals, because animals can't speak for themselves, and neither can the elderly at times. All right, Chong. And it's absolutely true. We treat our elderly like children. You have people that look over them, which is good. I'm okay with that. But when it comes to their rights, we really don't look over them. Yeah, you get permission to decide when your mom goes to the hospital and all that. That's great. That's wonderful. But if your mom, let's say if her leg hurts and transportation or whatever is getting there in an hour or so, and they have a lot of pain, they say, "Can you get me up in an hour?" I don't see an issue in it. You got a guardian coming in, one of these people coming in saying, "Oh, you should have had them in there. I don't care what kind of pain my mother's in." It's like OMG. This person raised you. You wouldn't have had that good job. You wouldn't have the house you're living in. A lot of times they have the houses that these guys are living in, folks. Because before they go to nursing home, they get they give up all their stuff a lot of times 5 years to 7 years prior. So all these guys act like they're bougie. They got all this stuff. Do they really? Because they're living in their parents' house on their parents' money because they're in charge of their parents. So, or let's say they sold the house for 200,000. Land was cheaper then. The house was bought a lot cheaper. Land's worth more. Cha-ching. They sell it. Let's say there's 3 siblings. Okay. Let's say it's 200,000. That 200,000 gets split 3 ways, and then insurance pays for grandma, their mom or dad, and what are they? They rich. They got they got like a little under $100,000, and then they act like they're better than everybody. And this is people. And the thing is this is not a good thing. This is where I say the money is the root of all evil. I get it. We don't want the corporate people taking money. I get it. And neither does the residents and the patients. They want their families to get it, but they want to get they want to get treated good. They understand they went from a big ass house to a little room. But damn, if they get them perfume, get them stuff. If you got 100,000 or less of their money, it's like help them out. That's what I say. And people just don't think. And they're not nice to. I don't feel like it's a nice, humane thing what people do. I don't. I see it every day. I try to beat the system, but sometimes it gets to me. And like I said, I used to take care of kids too. And don't get me started on kids because when I first started my job with the disabled children, the first thing I asked was, what do I do when their parents come in? Because I figured they're little kids. Their parents are going to be real all over them, what should I do, because I know that with kids it's a little bit different. They said their parents dropped them off, or we are their parents. I was at this job for 10 years of my life. And it's absolutely true. They drop their kids off at these homes because they don't want to take the time to take care of their kids because they're in a wheelchair or something. So what? Your kid's in a wheelchair. You find a way. I mean, I don't get it. If my kid was in a wheelchair, I would totally take care of them. I would change my life around for my kid. But why they don't, I don't know. I really don't. But I guess it's the state of the world, and everybody wants to accept things for what they are. And you can't, I feel, if we accept bad things and say they're okay, it's just like saying it's like accepting murder. I really do. I think it's accepting murder. Because if you say, oh, so and so died, there's nothing we can do about it, and everybody gives up, how are we going to change it? Because I get that sometimes, the elderly can be kind of bad sometimes, but sometimes you revert to a younger state. This is whatever you see an older person, like when you're taken from the elderly, they might be you one day. This is absolutely true. Absolutely true. I would like to do things if I could make more money on social media to help people in nursing homes. Honestly, I would love to help the elderly and the kids and the dogs. I feel like they get the shadiest end of the deal. You get a little older and you get discarded. You gave birth, you did this, and some people don't see their family members ever after this. And it's not fair. It really isn't. And I do feel bad. All right, Chong, I don't know if that's a potato bug or what it is. Could you get off this lawn? I know you like the grass. Well, the bug's moving away from them. Look at that. But I guess these are things I do feel passionate about. And and one day I will. I'll be helping out people that are disabled because I feel they need the most help. Yeah, we help other disabled veterans, but it seems there's more and more people disabled in the world. And yeah, there's a big drug problem, but that big drug problem is going to turn into a lot more crippled people in the world because, folks, these drugs are breaking their bodies down, breaking them down. And when you get on these drugs and they break you down this much, there's only so long you have of healthy living. Only so long. You do some drugs a little bit too much, you get schizophrenia. And then you have a breakdown of muscle and everything. There's going to be a whole lot of people living in a nursing home soon. And they started this because people were busy and had, sometimes there was no place for older people. Now I see a lot more younger people in that nursing home, a lot more, and it's drug related. And they're going to a traditional nursing home, and I'm talking about 50-year-olds. and it's for prolonged drug use. And I'm talking heavy drugs, not just not marijuana and all this. I'm talking about meth and coke and all that. This is how all this catches up with us. And if anybody else tells you why not to do drugs, I'm telling you, if you want to be in a nursing home, having a heart attack or stroke early, be my guest. Because this is what this does. All right, Chong, you are not allowed to be on this lawn like this. I swear that he must really like their grass. All right, come on, Chong. We gotta eventually go home. I don't know if we're gonna be able to leave this grass. I may have to knock on the door or just try to get us a ride home. The way this is going. All right, are we moving? See, waited so long, now we gotta cross the street. There's another set of dogs coming. Come on. We're not even that far off. We're just went over the bridge. But I'm not preaching to anybody. I'm just telling you guys the raw truth about life. And that is the raw truth, because I have some patients that are in their 40s that are coming in. And they're having strokes early and all that. And they're going through things that people in their 70s are going through at 40. I mean, that's some kind of food. That's food for thought, I guess you could say. I mean, sometimes raw truths can bring reality to your life. All right, Chong, come on. You need to move a little faster, Chong. Come on. Here, let's go this way again. All you do is stand. You don't even move. Come on. How are we supposed to get home? But I guess that's where I'm at. This is the most effective. It is true. I do tell the truth. I literally have 3 40-year-olds. One late 40s, one mid 40s. They all had strokes. They don't do drugs now, but they literally can't move one side of their body. Sometimes they treat me horrible. And they do. And they scream and they yell. They want full bed baths every single day. They want life the way it used to be. Once this happens, life is not the way it used to be, and it never will be. And this is God's honest truth. This is why I don't do drugs. I started doing like drug rehab and stuff when I was younger. And this is when the heroin epidemic started coming. Kids would come. I'm talking young girls. I had a girl that was 16 that got brought into our unit. Her mom came and she said that she took her wedding ring, her mom's wedding ring and everything, and sold it. And they brought her in, and this is before the government cut costs for these kind of places, and you could get yourself clean back then. It was St. Michael's. They closed the hospital down. But it was free funding, and we used to make people clean from heroin and everything. And they would sit there, they would shake, they would throw up, and I'd watch over them and stuff. And it was a free wing. They ended up tearing the hospital down because it was old. And they cut all the funding. So, but I've seen a lot. And it was then I knew that if somebody can literally do all these steal other mom's stuff. A lot of times it wasn't violent acts, because I don't want people to think they're always violent. I guess it kind of depends on the kind of person you are before you got on the drugs. Sometimes you just get really remorseful. It's just different stuff. But yeah, you take that stuff, eventually it affects your heart, and your heart's a muscle. And it affects the chemistry around it. Oh my god, now we're taking another break. This is going to be a 2-hour stream trying to get up the street. No, Chong. You could do all that. We could walk forward, okay? You know, and I feel just because of all these different epidemics and things going on in the world, I feel that that's how the animals are getting the shady end of the deal. How many people really cares about taking care of their animals when they got all these kind of issues going on? So that's probably one reason there's a lot of dogs in shelters, and there's a lot of crazy things. I was on Facebook and I came across, I don't know how I got this post, don't know how I got this reel. There was a huge gigantic snake, and I'm a digital creator. I know fake from not fake. I honestly do. I know my raw footage. I got a raw footage of a gigantic snake eating a baby puppy. Looked like a lab, actually. And the puppy was whining and crying, and it broke all of its bones and swallowed it whole. And I was so upset. I did a reel about it. And I out loud told Facebook, please get this reel. And I put it on my Chong group over there. And it was purely terrifying. And people, I feel, do these acts to animals because I want to blame the drugs. I don't think anyone in their right mind wants to enjoy seeing a baby puppy, a little puppy being eaten by a gigantic snake. Was it the snake's fault? No. And there you are.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello, sweetie. Hello, Chong. Hello, Chong. I love y'all.
All right. That was the dad. That was the husband. But yeah, I do blame these drugs for making our minds a little warped. And I believe sometimes it can work as almost like a psychedelic type thing, where it makes you crazy. And that's why people perform these horrible acts, and this is what I'm going with. Because I want to have some kind of faith in society. No, Chong, we're getting there. Chong, we're on our way home. All right, Chong, if you would walk a little faster, we would already been home. There we go. Hold him back till he calms down. I don't mean to preach to you guys, but I guess I'm trying to save society and give awareness to try to save as many as I can. Because I know I'll be okay. I know I'll live an old age. He still sees his daddy. All right, Chong, you're too strong for this. You want to go real fast now, but before you just didn't want to go real fast. But yeah, when you guys see your friends, let them know, try to do other stuff. I mean, with all these prohibitions and marijuana being legal, you could get fried that way. I know that they have the psychedelic mushrooms Like they have treatments for them. I know Wiz Khalifa takes them. The microdosing, you could do that. Alcohol's okay as long as you're not doing it every day. So there's a lot of options out there. It really is. Now he's gonna act like an insane idiot on the way home. But Chong, come on. If I wasn't strong, there'd be a problem. I need a break since you're pulling so damn much. But I guess this is the life I've been living. And I figure I give the truths that I have pretty much lived through. Because I've been in a lot of different situations in my life, a lot of different kinds of jobs. And I've come across a lot of things. And these are just some of the things I've came across, and it makes me sad. So I'm hoping that Chong the dog can turn some of this stuff around. Honestly, I want to see less younger people in a nursing home, more people saving their money, not stealing from dollar stores, having their mind with them more, not getting involved with these gangs. You know, just maybe get involved in the good gangs like church. I mean, church is not bad. I am not going to sit there and walk you like this. You need to chill. I am not fighting with you on the whole entire way off the street. But I feel maybe together with enough people, we could change ideas on the planet. You know, maybe do a turnaround like it used to be. When I grew up, there wasn't all these heavy drugs. There was always coke, you know, and John Belushi. I grew up with all those and John Candy. And people would die of heart attacks and stuff. And of course, Ozzy, he did pretty much every drug in the book. Love him to death. But I think he has Parkinson's or something now. I know that wasn't due to all the drugs he did. I think he did more like psychedelics and coke and things like that. But even the stuff they have on now is worse than that. And it's crazy. Come on. I get it. You want to go see Daddy. I get it. You're the one that was going so slow this whole walk, Chong. Now, come on. You can't sit there and drag me. You're trying to have me fall. But I do really think this is a lot of our problems in the world. Is just we forget. And we think we're immortal. And none of us are immortal in the world. None of us. And the minute you think you are, that's when the world kicks you down. And it will. The world will kick you down and show you that you're wrong. And I've noticed that in the world. See, Chong, you literally stand here. You just stand. You want to get home, but then you don't move. Come on, let's go. You want to get home so bad, we got to walk. You can't drag me up the street. But a lot of times, you know, like I follow these people on Facebook that are in charge of the shelters, and they always have a new dog that joined the shelter up for adoption. And they tell their stories. And People just say they had to move this or that, and it's getting. See, now he's sitting again. This is why he wants to get home so bad. But these dogs, they're just every day. Every day. There's several every day. And why are they always moving? What are they buying? I mean, if you need to get out of this front yard. Come on, out, out, out. No one wants you in the front yard. You need to go. We're almost home. But I don't have the most money in the world, but I don't really do a lot. So, if somebody, instead of going and buying all these fancy clothes and stuff, you could go to Goodwill or just get hand-me-downs. Take care of your responsibilities. I mean, that's all I really get. The times are hard. You could sit there and take a thing, but it's not getting you any faster home. At least you're not on the front lawn. But I just been putting two and two together, and since I'm in social media, I get a lot of these stories. I got the story of the person that was all drugged out on a lot of drugs that microwaved a kitten. Literally alive. Inside and out. The kitten literally died inside and out, baby kitten. And that person was strung out on a lot of drugs, just microwaving a kitten. When the parents came home, they were horrified. Horrified. They sent them to psych. Would that person have cooked that kitten if they weren't on drugs? I don't think they would have. I don't want to think they would have. I really don't. But who knows? I guess it does happen, but I think a lot of these things that are going on are because of drugs. I think the person feeding the puppy to the gigantic snake was drug activity. I think they were high on something. I don't feel it's regular. I don't feel it's a regular process in life to do that. I really don't. And you see it through animal abuse cases. And I'm a part of both, the human side and the abuse side. There's little kids that are abused all the time due to drugs too. There was a little kid story that went through my roster, and the father was high on drugs, broke both of their kids' legs, and then wanted to shoot them. Would they have done that to their own daughter otherwise? Possibly. I mean, I want to say no, but the dad was on, I believe it was the fentanyl and meth and all that. It probably didn't help. This probably didn't help one bit that was going on, honestly. So, unless we want our kids to get cooked alive and legs broken, I mean, I don't think it's a good idea to be on all this kind of stuff. It does nothing good, and kids and animals get abused, and you become someone you really don't want to be. That's the thing. And I feel if you're driven to be a monster, what is the point? And people, and honestly, we wonder about the government too. Maybe if everyone is in their right mind and wasn't on all these drugs, the government, we'd have more hand in the government. Think about it. In Portugal, I guess that it wasn't that up there. I don't know. One of the YouTubers was talking about how they legalized all the drugs. It's really easy to have a dictatorship if all your people are on drugs and they look like zombies. You're going to get a certain portion of... Come on, Chong. You're going to get a certain portion of people that are going to not be on drugs to pay your taxes. John, come on. Move. Let's go. I'm trying to get home. But that's how these governments can work under a dictatorship. Yeah, crime might be down, and they are saying that the crime rates are down. The crime rates are down because everybody's so doped up and no one gives a damn anymore. And they're not free thinkers no more. You gotta be a free thinker in this world, and you gotta think for yourself, and you gotta problem solve. Because there's no one in this world that's gonna help you. There's no one in this world that's going to care about your existence except for maybe your parents or your family or loved ones. And to stay a free thinker, you have to be off those hard drugs. And I feel governments and things, that's kind of their advantage. And it is absolutely true about some of these bigger companies. I was reading these others thing about, it's called a peasant's clause. They take out a life insurance policy on you, your company, and they do it on every single employee. And it was this lady, it was years back. He was a pilot, and he just so happened to die. She got like, I think 10 or 20,000, something like that, whatever. But the company took out a policy without telling the wife of over $100,000. Sometimes, depending on your job title, $1 million. And the company, because of his death, they gave her 20,000, and they took over 100,000 in profit off his death, and she wasn't allowed to have one penny of it. And it's called it's literally called a peasant's clause, and corporations are allowed to do it. And these corporations, this is what I talk about, Chong, we're never going to make it home. We might as well just get a tent out here. You can't even get up the street today. But these corporations, this is what they do. You walk two paces, Chong. I guess we'll wait. But yeah, I mean, this world is, I mean, the government is profiting of us in death and in life. You die of a bunch of drug overdose or whatever, and they got this peasant's cause. A lot of companies, they'll take out different insurance policies, and it doesn't have to be big high-tail workers. They do it on a lot of workers. And no one realizes it, and then if you die of a drug overdose, they profit. That's it. And sometimes these companies are taking these policies out, and you don't have a life insurance policy, and you don't have enough money to bury your loved one, but somebody else is getting the money. These are the hard truths in life. I have life insurance policies and everything. Oh, I guess we're walking one step and going forward now. But I do try to keep healthy. I was real sick, but I just forced myself to go on a long walk today to get back in the groove of things. But these are hard truths in life. And I don't know. It's getting worse in the last 20 years. It was bad, but not this bad. Chong, you literally went one step the opposite way. I don't know how you're supposed to get home to Daddy just laying here. Alright, come on, Chong. Try to go a little bit up the street. And then you could take a nap. We're almost home. But yeah, we got to be aware of our surroundings. We have to be aware of everything. The people these days, are literally wolves. They don't care about anything, and people are dying too young. The government could take advantage of this very well. Very well. They can put whoever they want in president, and who's going to argue with them if you have a bunch of people all doped up? You have to have intelligence behind you when you argue to win a fight. Where's your intelligence when you're doped up? It went bye-bye. Government knows this. People know this in general. And it's sad, but they take advantage of this. Just like this whole when I was younger, racism was a huge, huge deal. If you're angry because your neighbor is another color, that's even more happy for them. And honestly, this is what happens in life. Come on. People enjoy this kind of thing. They do. They like it. They like when we're always not paying attention. They like when we're having issues because you're not looking at what they're doing. So when everybody's kind of getting, like, you got a little bit of water left, I give you this, you got to keep moving. I want to go home and eat, Chong. I'm hungry. I can't even do what I want to do because we can't seem to get home. I get you want to come home. I want to get home too. We could have been home a half hour ago, Chong. You keep stopping. And then you yanked yourself in so hard, overexhausted yourself, that we can't even get up the street. That's why you're so damn tired. But these are the truths I see. I mean, I could be wrong, I could not be wrong, but I just know that you can't fight with intelligence if you're not in your right mind. This is what I do know, and these are truths. All right, Chong, we got to keep moving. We got to get over the bridge. You took all your available energy fighting me, and this is why you're so damn tired. This is why I don't like when you be going psycho like this. That's the last of our water. We're almost home. You need to move. I'm thirsty myself, Chong. Come on. Okay, we're moving. This is a good thing. But, I mean, I'm just one person, and this is just my one opinion. And I don't know about, I'm not there, and I don't give my opinions on the political set because I don't know all the information. Because we don't. There's a lot of things people don't tell us. And those things that people don't tell you is the information that you might have not like somebody or like someone. They tell you false truths sometimes, and how can you get a full opinion? This is why I don't go full political. I'm never going to know all the information, and it's okay. Alright, this guy's on his front porch, so I'm going to cross the street. Alright, Chong, just let's talk about you're so tired, but then use all your energy to do this. No! Let's go, Chong. Let's go. I mean, these are just my daily thoughts. And I do hear stories, and I do like to share stories, even if they're at a very gruesome thing, because I feel certain truths should be told. And I heard another story. I've I literally heard a story because I have a lot of news things. There was a mother, and she must have been on something. I think she had a 1 or 2 year old daughter. She put her in the oven and cooked her. Now my thing, folks, is did this happen because, see, this is what I talk about, Chong. We're never going to get out of here. We have got to go home. Would this have happened if she was in her right mind and not on drugs? Because just so happened, folks, she was on drugs. Cooked her daughter. Things like this have went on for a lot of years. People don't talk about it. No one talks about these things. Maybe we should talk about all these horrible acts and why they're happening. The dead need to be respected as much as the living. I mean, this is what I feel. I feel death needs some kind of answers as much as the living do. And honestly, I think if we had some kind of awareness, there would be less of these incidents happening. And as horrible as it is, we got to put these things behind us. And we need to move forward. And hope no more kids get cooked in ovens and cats don't get cooked in microwaves. And then the one story that bothered me more than anything was in Mexico. There was a big Facebook thing, and I was so upset. Oh my God. It was, I want to say cartel people or something. There was this dog that was in this village, right? Good dog. He was a German Shepherd. I loved my German Shepherds. And anyways, they called him Scooby. And he used to go to these shops. It was like all over Facebook, like a year and a half ago. And anyways, Scooby was going and the guy was feeding him, and he was coming for his feeding, and the shopkeepers would feed him. This guy was just angry and being an asshole. And he was getting ready to fry up some food. He was angry with the storekeeper. He took Scooby, threw him in the hot grease, and put a gun to the guy and watched him, and made the guy watch him being cooked alive. And this happened a year and a half ago. I was so upset I started crying. I announced it to the Chong group. I reported it to Facebook. I made a big stink about it. I made the biggest stink you could have. I was so upset about this poor dog. I still am. They watched the shopkeeper. He couldn't even get the dog out of the hot grease. He didn't even give him grace. He didn't even shoot him in the head at this point. He wasn't even allowed to get a mercy kill. That dog had to feel every bit of being cooked alive in hot grease. And the thing is, yeah, it was a guy that was collecting money. These things go on. But was that guy in drugs? Or was he crazy? Or was he both? I mean, I guess these are my issues of the world. And these are the answers that I want to know about. Because I feel that people die every day. And animals die every day. And their voices are not heard. And Scooby, I just feel horrible for Scooby and for that kitten that got cooked alive. And they weren't even allowed to shoot Scooby in the head. He was a 200-pound German Shepherd that went around and helped the village. I couldn't imagine that kind of death. And why did that dog have to die in such a horrible way? I mean, it's heartbreaking. And these are the truths, when I was starting social media, that I had to start realizing are a part of my world. And at Chong, the dog, we refused to accept this. I refuse to accept that everybody just enjoys watching a dog being cooked alive. And cats and kids being put in the oven and just these horrible things. So, I guess these are other truths that I've been trying to make peace with. And I've been trying to make peace with all this. And sometimes it hurts my heart. It really does. And I'm trying to gather up a group of people that give a damn about the world, that is going to try to make a difference so there's less. So maybe another German Shepherd doesn't have to get cooked alive. Another toddler. And then all these abuse cases for domestic. Honestly, how do you know it's drugs and alcohol? A lot of times are involved in these things. Women are getting the shit beat out of them, sometimes put in ICU because of drugs and alcohol. Is that where we want to be? I mean, you don't gotta be religious. You don't, honestly, for any of this. But these kind of activities are horrible. That's why I think human trafficking is horrible. Because to me, I feel it's horrible for us to think we can own other people, that we own animals. I don't own Chong. I guess I do, but I don't treat it that way. Because Chong's his own person. Chong does what Chong does. And that's it, and I don't stop him if he don't like one person or one dog. I respect my dog and his opinions. All right, Chong, you're like not moving. You see our house is here. Now come on. But I guess, that's where I'm at. I want to try to find goodness in the world. I want to find good people, and I want to spread so much awareness that Scooby didn't die in vain. I did a reel for Scooby. Because he was a celebrated dog. The whole village got upset when Scooby died this way and turned against the people. They hid their kids and wives, and they attacked these people after Scooby died. They killed Scooby in such a horrible way. They really did. And these guys won. Because they made, even though Scooby he died such a horrible death, that was their friend. Oh, Lord. There's a bunny. Alright, come on, Chong. You chasing bunnies doesn't help. It wears you out. You're tired, Chong. But you find the energy to try to chase a rabbit. But I guess, if you want to, subscribing to me is trying to subscribe, and, I don't mind if people share stories with me. I really don't. And honestly, if you guys join my Facebook group and you leave, I can't film the motorcycle time. But if you guys leave me videos and stuff, I don't care. I put them on Facebook. I don't. I honestly am not there. I do make money a little bit, but I don't care. I'm there more for the awareness than anything. And I would share it. I would share people's stories. You know, I got my Twitter, I got my Snapchat. I just want a group of people that feel strong enough about humanity that we want to try to make a difference in a nice, peaceful manner. And we care about people. I mean, that's the truth that I want to promote. So, this has been a long, exhausting walk. When we go in the house, Chong, are you going to try to keep me out here an hour when you need to get some cold water inside? But thank you. This has been a very interesting conversation. I appreciate you guys. And I will talk to you guys later because I did get a lot of rush yesterday.